Every day, inside your body, a quiet battle is taking place. Millions of cells are dividing, repairing, communicating, and defending you without you ever noticing. Among them, your immune system is constantly scanning for cells that don't belong, cells that behave abnormally, cells that could one day become cancer. This process is not rare or exceptional. It is happening in every healthy person right now. The remarkable question is not why cancer appears, but why it doesn't appear more often. The answer lies largely in the body's built-in defense systems and how powerfully they are supported by what you eat. Cancer is not a single disease, and it doesn't begin overnight. It develops gradually when damaged cells escape immune surveillance, grow new blood vessels to feed themselves, and create an environment that allows them to spread. Modern science has revealed that many of these steps are deeply influenced by diet. Certain foods contain bioactive compounds that can activate anti-cancer mechanisms already present in the body, helping to slow abnormal cell growth, cut off blood supply to tumors, reduce chronic inflammation, and strengthen immune response. For decades, research focused primarily on drugs and treatments after cancer was diagnosed, but a growing body of scientific evidence now shows that prevention is not passive. It is active daily and deeply connected to the foods placed on the plate. Large population studies, laboratory experiments, and clinical trials consistently demonstrate that specific foods can influence gene expression, protect DNA from damage, and even trigger cancer cells to self-destruct through a process known as apoptosis. What makes this so powerful is accessibility. These are not rare supplements or experimental compounds locked away in laboratories. They are foods that have been part of traditional diets for centuries, now validated by modern science. They work not by targeting a single pathway, but by supporting multiple defense systems at once, creating an internal environment where cancer struggles to survive. The human body is designed with remarkable resilience. It produces natural killer cells to eliminate threats, antioxidants to neutralize free radicals, and enzymes that repair genetic damage. However, these systems require the right nutritional signals to function at their best. When those signals are missing, defenses weaken. When they are present, the body becomes far more capable of protecting itself. Understanding this changes how we view food. It is no longer just fuel or pleasure. It becomes information, sending instructions to cells, influencing inflammation, immunity, and cellular behavior. The foods supported by science do not promise immunity from disease, but they significantly tilt the odds in your favor by strengthening the body's natural cancer-fighting ability. In a world where cancer rates continue to rise, the idea that simple dietary choices can influence such a complex disease is both empowering and urgent. The science is clear: what you eat today can shape your cellular health tomorrow, quietly reinforcing the defense that stand between normal cells and cancerous transformation. Cancer does not begin as a sudden event. It starts quietly at the cellular level, long before any symptom appears or any test can detect it. Every day, your body produces billions of new cells to replace old ones, repair tissues, and maintain normal function. During this process, mistakes can happen. DNA can be damaged by environmental toxins, poor diet, chronic inflammation, or natural aging. When a cell becomes damaged, the body has a powerful safety system designed to recognize that cell and remove it before it causes harm. This safety system is known as immune surveillance. Specialized immune cells constantly patrol the body, scanning for abnormal behavior. They look for cells that divide too quickly, fail to follow normal growth signals, or display unusual proteins on their surface. When such cells are found, immune defenders like natural killer cells and cytotoxic T cells step in to destroy them. This process is happening in healthy people all the time, which explains why cancer does not develop as often as it theoretically could. Problems arise when damaged cells find ways to hide. Some abnormal cells learn how to suppress immune signals, disguise themselves as healthy tissue, or create an environment that weakens immune response. Chronic stress, poor sleep, excessive sugar intake, and long-term inflammation can all reduce the effectiveness of immune surveillance. When immune defenses are distracted or exhausted, damaged cells gain time to survive, divide, and accumulate more mutations. Over time, these escaped cells can form clusters, then masses, and eventually tumors. At this stage, cancer is not just a collection of abnormal cells, but a system that actively resists destruction. It may release chemicals that block immune attack, recruit blood vessels to feed its growth, and alter surrounding tissue to support its survival. But the critical moment always comes earlier, at the point when immune surveillance fails to eliminate the first dangerous cells. Scientific research shows that immune strength is not fixed. It responds dynamically to lifestyle choices, especially nutrition. Certain foods enhance immune signaling, improve communication between cells, and reduce background inflammation that interferes with detection of abnormal cells. When immune surveillance is supported, damaged cells are more likely to be identified and eliminated before they become a serious threat. This understanding shifts the focus from reacting to cancer to preventing its earliest steps. It highlights the importance of maintaining an internal environment where immune cells can move efficiently, recognize danger quickly, and respond decisively. The immune system does not need to be perfect. It needs to be alert and supported. When damaged cells fail to escape immune surveillance, cancer cannot establish itself. The battle is often won before it is ever noticed, through countless microscopic victories taking place inside the body each day, influenced by the signals sent through diet, metabolism, and immune balance, shaping whether abnormal cells are stopped immediately or allowed the opportunity to grow and adapt into something far more dangerous. Diet plays a powerful role in determining how cells behave, communicate, and respond to stress. Food is not simply a source of calories. It is a collection of biological signals that interact with the body at the molecular level. Once consumed, nutrients and phytochemicals enter the bloodstream and reach tissues where they influence inflammation, gene expression, and the rate at which cells grow or repair themselves. These processes are central to how cancer develops or is restrained. Chronic inflammation is one of the most important links between diet and cancer risk. When inflammation becomes persistent, it creates a biochemical environment that encourages DNA damage, disrupts normal cell signaling, and weakens immune surveillance. Diets high in refined sugars, ultra-processed foods, and unhealthy fats can amplify inflammatory pathways, keeping the body in a constant state of low-grade stress. In this environment, damaged cells are more likely to survive and multiply. On the other hand, anti-inflammatory foods actively calm these pathways. Natural compounds found in plants can block inflammatory signals at their source, reducing the production of cytokines and enzymes that promote abnormal cell growth. This shift alone can dramatically change how tissues respond to damage, making it harder for cancerous changes to take hold. Diet also influences gene expression through a field known as epigenetics. Certain nutrients can turn genes on or off without changing the DNA sequence itself. This means food choices can silence genes linked to tumor growth or activate genes responsible for DNA repair and detoxification. For example, bioactive compounds in fruits, vegetables, herbs, and spices can enhance the activity of protective genes while suppressing those that encourage uncontrolled cell division. Cell growth is another critical factor shaped by diet. Healthy cells grow in a controlled, organized way, responding to signals that tell them when to divide and when to stop. Cancer cells ignore these signals. High blood sugar and excess insulin, often driven by poor dietary patterns, can act like growth fertilizer for abnormal cells. In contrast, diets rich in fiber, healthy fats, and plant nutrients help stabilize blood sugar and reduce growth signals that cancer cells depend on. The body is constantly making decisions at the cellular level, guided by the chemical messages it receives. Diet determines many of those messages. It can either create conditions that favor repair, balance, and controlled growth, or it can push the system toward inflammation, genetic instability, and unchecked cell proliferation. This scientific understanding reframes nutrition as a form of biological communication. Each meal sends instructions that shape the internal environment, influencing whether cells remain healthy or drift toward disease. Over time, these small, repeated signals accumulate, profoundly affecting cancer risk and the body's ability to maintain normal cellular behavior in the face of daily stressors and environmental challenges. For a tumor to grow beyond a microscopic size, it must solve a critical problem. It needs a blood supply. Without oxygen and nutrients delivered through blood vessels, abnormal cells cannot survive for long. This requirement led scientists to identify a process called angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels. In healthy tissues, angiogenesis is tightly controlled and only activated when necessary, such as during wound healing or growth. In cancer, this process becomes hijacked. Cancer cells release chemical signals that stimulate nearby blood vessels to sprout new branches and grow toward the tumor. These vessels deliver oxygen, glucose, and nutrients that fuel rapid cell division and allow the tumor to expand. Once a blood supply is established, cancer gains not only nourishment but also a pathway to spread to other parts of the body. Blocking this process has become a major focus of cancer research. What is remarkable is that angiogenesis is not an on-off switch. It is regulated by a balance between factors that stimulate blood vessel growth and those that inhibit it. The body naturally produces angiogenesis inhibitors that keep vessel growth in check. When this balance is maintained, abnormal cell clusters remain dormant or die off due to lack of resources. When the balance tips toward excessive stimulation, tumors gain the support they need to grow. Scientific studies have shown that certain foods contain natural compounds capable of suppressing angiogenesis. These compounds interfere with the signals cancer cells use to attract blood vessels. They may reduce the production of growth factors, block receptor activity on blood vessel cells, or prevent enzymes from breaking down surrounding tissue, a necessary step for new vessels to form. Unlike pharmaceutical drugs that target a single pathway, food-based angiogenesis inhibitors often work across multiple mechanisms at once. This makes them particularly effective as part of long-term prevention. Regular consumption helps maintain the body's natural ability to keep abnormal vessel growth under control, reinforcing an internal environment where tumors struggle to establish themselves. This process does not starve healthy tissues. Normal cells already have established blood vessels and do not rely on excessive angiogenesis to survive. Cancer cells, however, are uniquely vulnerable because their growth demands constant expansion of blood supply. By selectively limiting this expansion, the body can restrain tumor development without harming normal function. The idea that food can influence something as complex as blood vessel formation was once controversial. Today, it is supported by laboratory research, animal studies, and human data. These findings reveal that diet can quietly influence one of cancer's most critical survival strategies. Angiogenesis control represents a powerful intersection between nutrition and cellular biology. It demonstrates how everyday dietary choices can affect deep biological systems that determine whether abnormal cells remain harmless or gain the ability to grow, invade, and spread through the body, shaped continuously by the compounds introduced through regular meals. One of the most important safety mechanisms built into the human body is the ability of damaged or dangerous cells to eliminate themselves. This process, known as programmed cell death, allows cells that are no longer functioning properly to shut down in an orderly way. In healthy tissue, this system prevents the accumulation of defective cells and protects the body from uncontrolled growth. Cancer begins when abnormal cells lose this ability and continue surviving when they should not. Normal cells follow strict internal rules. When DNA damage becomes too severe, when resources are insufficient, or when signals from surrounding tissue indicate danger, the cell activates self-destruction pathways. These pathways break down the cell from within, preventing it from passing defects on to new cells. Cancer cells are defined by their resistance to this process. They disable the internal switches that tell them to stop, allowing them to survive, divide, and evolve despite serious damage. Scientific research has revealed that certain natural compounds found in food can help reactivate these shutdown signals in abnormal cells. These compounds interact with cellular pathways that control apoptosis, restoring the balance between survival and death. They may increase the activity of enzymes that dismantle cancer cells, reduce proteins that protect tumors from dying, or interfere with energy production inside malignant cells. What makes this process especially important is its selectivity. Healthy cells are largely unaffected because their internal systems are already balanced. Cancer cells, however, are under constant stress due to rapid growth, genetic instability, and high energy demands. This makes them more vulnerable to signals that push them towards self-destruction. Natural compounds exploit this weakness, nudging abnormal cells toward a fate they have been trying to avoid. Laboratory studies show that these bioactive substances can slow cancer cell growth and, in some cases, cause malignant cells to collapse without harming surrounding tissue. They influence mitochondria, the energy centers of cells, disrupting the power supply cancer cells rely on. Others affect communication pathways that tell cells whether to survive or die, shifting the message in favor of elimination. This mechanism highlights a critical difference between conventional treatment and prevention. Drugs are often designed to kill cancer cells aggressively after a tumor has formed. Food-based compounds work earlier and more subtly, reinforcing natural control systems that prevent abnormal cells from gaining a foothold. They do not replace medical treatment, but they strengthen the body's baseline defenses. The body is constantly making microscopic decisions about which cells stay and which cells go. When the self-destruction system functions properly, potentially dangerous cells are removed quietly and efficiently. When it fails, cancer gains an advantage. Nutrition influences this balance every day, delivering chemical signals that can either support or weaken these protective pathways. Understanding that food can help guide cells towards self-destruction changes the way disease prevention is viewed. It shows that the body is not helpless against cancer at its earliest stages, and that everyday choices can influence whether damaged cells persist or are safely dismantled by the systems designed to protect long-term cellular health. The human body is equipped with an extraordinary network of defenses designed to protect against disease long before symptoms appear. These defenses include immune cells that identify and destroy threats, enzymes that neutralize harmful compounds, antioxidants that prevent cellular damage, and repair systems that fix DNA errors. Together, they form a multi-layer protection system that works continuously to maintain health. Cancer becomes more likely when these defenses are weakened, overwhelmed, or deprived of the support they need to function effectively. Everyday foods play a critical role in strengthening these natural defenses. Many contain vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, and other bioactive compounds that directly support immune activity. Certain nutrients enhance the production and performance of natural killer cells, T cells, which are responsible for identifying and eliminating abnormal cells. Others improve communication between immune cells, allowing faster and more coordinated responses to potential threats. Oxidative stress is another major challenge the body faces daily. Free radicals are produced during normal metabolism and increase with exposure to pollution, radiation, and poor diet. When free radicals accumulate, they damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes, increasing cancer risk. Antioxidant-rich foods help neutralize these unstable molecules, reducing the burden on repair systems and preserving cellular integrity. Detoxification pathways also depend heavily on nutrition. The liver uses specialized enzymes to process and remove carcinogens before they can damage cells. Certain foods enhance the activity of these enzymes, improving the body's ability to eliminate harmful substances efficiently. When detoxification is supported, fewer toxins reach vulnerable tissues, lowering the chance of cellular transformation. The gut plays a central role in immune defense, housing a large portion of the body's immune cells. A diverse and balanced gut microbiome helps regulate inflammation, immune responses, and block harmful compounds from entering circulation. Foods rich in fiber and natural plant compounds nourish beneficial bacteria, strengthening this critical line of defense. When gut health is compromised, inflammation rises and immune balance suffers. Inflammation itself is a double-edged sword. Short-term inflammation helps fight injury and infection, but chronic inflammation damages tissue and creates conditions that favor cancer development. Many everyday foods contain compounds that gently suppress excessive inflammation without shutting down necessary immune responses, restoring balance rather than bluntly blocking pathways. What makes these effects so powerful is consistency. The body does not rely on a single nutrient or meal, but on repeated signals over time. Each day, food choices either reinforce protective systems or gradually erode them. Strengthening natural defenses is not about extremes, but about providing steady support that allows the body to do what it was designed to do. This perspective transforms food into an active participant in disease prevention. Rather than waiting for problems to arise, the body can be supported daily through nutrition that enhances immunity, reduces damage, improves detoxification, and maintains cellular balance, quietly reinforcing the systems that stand guard against cancer at every stage of life.